It's finally time to set up our game manager to actually tell our players to move after they roll the dice. So let's go ahead and open up our game manager script. That's again in our provided scripts folder. Double click on it right there. And what we're going to be working in is our roll dice method here. So what we want to do is drop between where we do this game object.find and the end of our switch statement here. We're going to add just a little bit of space. Then we're going to do a conditional. So we're going to say if player to move, which our player to move is the active player or the player whose turn it is. We're going to say player to move dot current tile. Oops. If player to move dot current tile plus our total value. So the total value is the value of our two dice. So if the value of what we've just rolled is greater than or equal to the number of tiles we have, which is our tile spawner dot tiles dot count. So this is to say, if whatever you just rolled is going to make you land past those game-winning tiles, what we want to do is set our total value equal to the tile count, so ts.tiles.count, minus our player to move dot current tile, which is current tile. Ooh, what's going on here? There we go. Okay. Not sure what happened with my little cursor there, but so what this is going to do is set the total value that we're moving equal to what is the last tile in the board. So that's going to be the winning tile, but we're not actually landing there. We're going to be telling our player not to check their space when they land there. And actually, if we look at our player script, you'll see that if we're not checking our tile, we do set tile. And set tile is going to call the set player tile method in our game manager, which if we scroll down, you can see sets us to our reset tiles position. So we're going to say we have these numbers here. We're going to set our total value equal to what will land us at the end. And then we're going to say player to move dot move player, open and close parentheses. But inside those parentheses, we say ts dot tiles dot get range, oops, not get range, open and close parentheses, player to move dot current tile, oops, not current effect, current tile, comma total value, comma false. So what this is going to create a list of tiles that spans from where our player currently is standing and then the number of tiles that our dice roll allows us. So that's, in this case, that's going to be basically where our player is standing all the way to that last tile. So that's the list of tiles that we're giving to our move player method. And then the false here is telling our move player method that we're not checking what tile we landed on because we know that it's the game winning tile and we haven't won the game, so we don't want to tell our game that we have. Now, outside of the curly brackets for that if statement, we're going to say else, open and close parentheses. And in this case, we're just going to do a normal move. So we're going to say, we can actually just copy this line here, player to move dot move player. We can just highlight it, press Control or Command C to copy it, and then click inside our curly brackets and press Control or Command V. But what we're going to do is delete the false here. So we're gonna highlight the false, delete that, and also delete our comma. Now, you might be thinking, we want this to be true, right? We want the player, if they're not exceeding the maximum number of tiles, we do want them to check what tile they're landed on. And that is correct. And if we actually go back and look at our move player method, we have what's called a default value. And what this means is that if we don't give when we call this method, when we say, player.movePlayer, if we don't put a value for this second part, if we don't give this method a true or false at the end, it's going to automatically assume that what we have is true here. So basically, the method's going to fill in the blank for us in this case. And now that we have this set up, save our script and go back to our game. And now you'll see if we hit play, select our number of players and hit roll dice, we actually start moving. And you'll see we rolled a 9 and we're going to move 9 spaces. And he's going to turn to go around our little corner here. And there we go. He landed on an empty space, so he just hits end turn. And now it's the next player's turn. And they can hit roll dice. And they rolled a 9 again, and there's our 5 and our 4. So they're going to land on the same space. So our game is almost completely playable. The only issue is that our card system is not fully set up yet. So if we land on a draw space, we're not going to get a real card. But everything else in our game is functional. That and the winning tiles. But both of those things are what we're going to set up in week 4. So that's it for week 3, apart from our bonus steps. So yeah, go ahead and save your project. And we're nearing the end of our board game.